Greetings, my audience. I'm Jake Allen Graham, that's my name. And this is my YouTube channel. You're watching my review on all the... I don't know how many Mission Impossible movies there are, but that was the Mission Impossibles I'm reviewing. From the first one till Dead Reckoning, up to Dead Reckoning Part 1. It's the title as. I give them all a 6 out of 10. The sequels. Mission Impossible sequels from Mission Impossible 2 to Dead Reckoning Part 1. They all get a 6 out of 10 for an average score. I give them mediocre score they are to me. And so is the first one. I give a 6 out of 10. The Mission Impossible one started it all Mission Impossible. Why? Because if we didn't got the first one, we probably wouldn't have gotten the sequels. That just made the franchise overstayed its welcome. Which each sequel installment. They should have never made this into a movie franchise. They should have just stopped at the first one. I still believe that. That's what they should have done. The first one wasn't that great of a movie, but it was better than all the sequels came after it. Probably because it was the pace put together well for a story. And pace-wise, best story you could follow along. And compared to the sequels, it's bonkers. I guess more bonkers was the stunts and action shit. But it doesn't really improve on the story at all. Compared to the first one was trying to tell a story. Those sequels are just trying to do is to show how cool Tom Cruise can do with the next pushing the envelope with the action shit. Instead of improving the story, he's just improving with the action. The action gets better with each installment, that's true, but the stories, they just get more predictable and stupid, and more questionable plot holes as each installment happens. I really think the first sequel is actually the best sequel out of the franchise. Mission Impossible 2. Because it makes the most sense. A story. And, compared to the other sequels, I guess, I like the show a lot more than the movie franchise. From what I've seen, I only seen like one season of the show, I think, and forgot what season that was. I saw probably was like I was like one of the seasons of the show. I seen a bit of the show, but I think the show's special of a television program. And it's actually competently written. And has likable characters. And I guess one of the things what I wish the movie did, that the show showed, I wish we had other missions with the team when they're not going rogue in the movie. Because in the show, one of the common things that made Mission Impossible a show special, I thought, is like what they did on the missions when they weren't going rogue. And we got a little of that in the first one. Before Ethan Hunt had to go rogue with a rogue team. And then we got that majority of it in the sequel because Ethan Hunt had to be undercover to infiltrate the bad guy and steal this poison to destroy it and blah blah blah. It's a plague basically. Um, and was MI2, and then MI3 he also is not rogue at the team, and we got a little bit more in MI3 when they weren't rogue, but then Ghost Protocol happened, the fourth installment. They continue rehashing the rogue ones since Protocol of the game, making the team rogue in each franchise. It seems like since Protocol, the fourth installment, that really changed the franchise and took in a different direction, more of that feeding Tom Cruise ego of how awesome he can be in action. It seems like that's where they started to always make the team a rogue team that was led by Ethan Hunt. Since Protocol and 5 until from Protocol till Dead Reckoning, the team was always rogue. Majority of them in the movie plot. You know, I can't help but feel like maybe I would have liked these movies more if the team wasn't going rogue and they did move the shit on when they. I just don't. I would like to have I don't know. It's just like the whole rogue team. It just feels like it's just an excuse to show Tom Cruise and the next top-notch action scene where he's pushing the envelope was action shit that could kill a person if not done correctly. It looks like this is what he's trying to do. It's like, but that's kind of a problem with the Mission Impossible franchise movies. They don't feel special. They just feel like the show felt special to me. The movies don't feel special to me. I give the show a 10 out of 10 from what I've seen of it. But the movies I give a 6 out of 10, all installments, including the first one that started it all. The first one's really the best one, I think. But it doesn't get better from there on out. It just gets worse. And especially once we get to Ghost Protocol, and then gets really nuts with the story. And screwy. And inconsistent with his logic world building of how seriously it wants to take itself. The Tom Cruise Mission Impossible movie, his run on Mission Impossible, his take on Mission Impossible, is kind of for me, kind of lit a bit of taste in my mind for my memories for enjoying these movies. I thought these movies were way too stupid for me to enjoy them. Not that I can't get into some stupid movies. But, Mission Impossible is too stupid for me. It's just average. And, to me, to get into, and it doesn't feel like clever, fun, stupid, like the Fast and the Furious movies. But uptight brand stupid. That doesn't know it's stupid. But thinks it's serious, but thinks smarter than it actually is. These movies come across. Think they're smarter than they really are. Which they're not. They're just dumb movies. And they should be rewarded as such dumb movies. For dumb people. Just like to see stuff go boom. What's wrong with that? Nothing. But I don't know, it's just not enough for me to really like it. The movies was his Mission Impossible run. So that's why I give all the Mission Impossible movies a 6 out of 10 for a mediocre score for a mediocre performer, Tom Cruise. But a great stuntman in action. He's a good better stuntman than he is an actor. That's for sure. I mean, look at his stunts in these movies. They're insane. the practical stunts that he shoots. Once you get to, if you want to see an action movie, you might want to skip MI1. Because there's not action in that movie, the Tom Cruise action you want to see. That doesn't happen until the sequel, MI2. Now, MI2, I think, gets bad rep by people who didn't see the franchise going in a certain direction, try to course correct it with 3, but then redirected the course correct because they fed more in Tom Cruise ego was the 4th one of Ghost Protocol and more in the action, more in the absurd nature like MI2 did, kind of foreshadow with the absurd nature that Ghost Protocol goes for, even more absurd than MI2. And goes more absurd after those others, Ghost Protocol, and they're on, goes nuts was the action. So, for your general Tom Cruise fanboy, skip MI2 and just see the sequels. You'll save yourself the trouble. But if you're fans of the show, your best one is the first one. MI1 titled Mission Impossible. Spoiler alert, the main character, mascot of the franchise in the show is the main villain in the first movie. There's a twist. Jim Phillips, he's the main villain and also the main mascot that led the team in several episodes throughout the years of the original show. And was basically one of the main characters of the show. And the movie does him a little dirty by making him the villain in the 3rd act instead of just leaving him dead. Gotta admit, that feels a bit of a betrayal. Which is why I kind of gave it a 6 out of 10, because I felt a little betrayal by that decision made instead of just keeping him dead. I wish they kept him dead in the movie. Because the movie does him dirty by making him the bad guy. It's kind of like if they made Anakin Skywalker. No, not Anakin Skywalker. Luke Skywalker. Oh no, it's kind of like what they did with Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi. They made him a loser. And a worthless fuck to the plot. That just does nothing but bitch and complain. Until the 3rd act when you dissolve his force power. And dies of a heart attack. That's kind of stupid. That's why I like The Last Jedi more than the Mission Impossible movies. Less stupid writing. Still stupid writing, though. Stupid writing. I give Star Wars The Last Jedi a 6 out of 10. That's the one with Rey Skywalker and we made Finn a comedic release character, an annoying fuck he became to me. I give The Last Jedi, Star Wars The Last Jedi, a 6 out of 10. Now I'm going to talk about the sequels to the first one and called Force Awakens and the sequel Rise of Skywalker to The Last Jedi, the last one. I give those 2 movies also a 6 out of 10. Because I'm not going to lie, these movies don't feel special to me, the sequels to Star Wars. Nothing about it stands out. Outside some cool visuals, but that's really it. Nothing feels like, nothing's clicking with me, making it feel like this should be special. Or giving an illusion as special. But some fancy, smashy, minor effects are in here, with great action here and there, sprinkled here and there, with some a lot of cringe, dialogue and jokes here and there that feel forced and flat for both dialogue and jokes. in the sequel trilogy to Star Wars, the last trilogy called the Rey one. One was Rey, all three of them. Give a 6 out of 10. For a mediocre score, like the Mission Impossible movies with Tom Cruise made. And started. So, that's my thoughts on Mission Impossible franchise, and the Star Wars franchise was Rey. The one exclusive with Rey I'm talking about only in this video. And that's it. That's my review on Star Wars sequel trilogy, final trilogy, and the Mission Impossible movie franchise starring Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt. Or, what, playing, really, himself. Yeah, Ethan Hunt's not much of a character. I find him much of a character than Rey is. He's pretty much whatever the character script needs him to be. You know how the Rey movies have reinvented Rey 3 times? That's what this Mission Impossible does. Reinvent Ethan Hunt in each installment. Even the first one, different Ethan Hunt. The sequel's different Ethan Hunt. Next one's a different Ethan Hunt. Next one's a different Ethan Hunt. Next one's a different Ethan Hunt. Next one shows another different side of Ethan Hunt. Goes protocols those different sides of Ethan Hunt. Directly shows the side of the prepare, always top of his game Ethan Hunt. That is perfect. No, he's always a step ahead. Blah blah blah. Ethan Hunt, I guess. And what is the next Ethan Hunt side of Ethan Hunt going to be? Don't know. What's the next Mission Impossible? Is the next Mission Impossible last movie? I hope. Because I'm sick of talking about them. I don't know if I want to see the last one. I'm sick of talking about them right now, so in this video, at this point. So that's how I give this movie a 6 out of 10. Star Wars and Mission Impossible. Good night. Subscribe to my channel. Hit the thumbs up to like this video. Hit the comments section if you want to comment below. Because I leave the comment section on, blah, blah, blah. Now, and I'm a little tired, I think, after this video making. And good night. Bye.